Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus went down to Capernaum, a town of Galilee. He taught them on the Sabbath, and they were astonished at his teaching because he spoke with authority. In the synagogue there was a man with the spirit of an unclean demon, and he cried out in a loud voice, "What have you to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." Jesus rebuked him and said, "Be quiet, come out of him." Then the demon threw the man down in front of them and came out of him without doing him any harm. They were all amazed and said to one another, "What is there about his word? For with authority and power he commands the unclean spirits, and they come out." And news of him spread everywhere in the surrounding region. My sisters and brothers, the gospel of the Lord.
Praise you, Lord Jesus Christ.
What's your spirit like today as you begin this day? One could go in a lot of directions, even reflecting upon that. You know, we hear these stories and these realities of what Jesus did driving out the demon. And we probably all need to know, and I know AA and many other organizations recognize God as higher power. For us, hopefully we recognize that's the God who reveals himself in Jesus Christ. And that all of us, in a sense, have within us, at least somewhat, and hopefully we don't give it much focus, an unclean spirit. We probably know that. We probably have caught ourselves in the kind of thinking and feeling that we know this is not of God, but we go there anyway. Maybe we're mad, resentful, self-pity, whatever it might be. That we can have that unclean spirit. Maybe the way we treat people, maybe the way we look at certain people. And we need to believe and be open to the reality that Jesus Christ wants to deliver us from that unclean spirit. Too often, I think we rely only on our own willpower. And at times, maybe that can work, but often the willpower can get us more and more into our own ego and our own ego way of looking at things, rather than putting on the mind of Christ, which St. Paul talked about in that first reading, and talked about the Spirit. In a way, he didn't use that term, but the Holy Spirit. There's a Spirit within us. There's a Holy Spirit, and if you will, there's that unclean spirit there too. Which are we going to pay more attention to? Which are we going to center our lives on? Which are going to influence the way we think about everything? Everything. The mind of Christ, to consciously, and we need to be more conscious of this, say, Lord, in this situation, help me to be open to the influence of you on my mind, so that I think about this with you, through you, and for you. And to, Lord, deliver me from anything that is keeping me from really being centered in you and being too caught up in selfishness or just something else that we know isn't of God. We have choices to make every day. And again, are we going to look to the Lord first, or are we going to look to that unclean spirit that can get us caught up? It'll begin right here and throughout the day. Let's pay attention to what our mind really pays attention to. God bless.